Hidden in the shadows of history, a story of a vibrant culture, an ancient people, and their tragic end awaits. Today we're unraveling the forgotten tale of the Slavs, who once thrived in lands now known as Germany. This is not just a story of conquest and assimilation, but a journey through time, revealing the resilience and tragedy of the German Slavs. Our story begins by pressing the subscribe button that takes us to the early medieval period. The Slavs, an Indo-European ethno-linguistic group, were widely dispersed across Eastern Europe. Among these were the Western Slavs, who eventually migrated into the areas of modern-day Germany. This migration began around the 6th century, a time when the Roman Empire's influence was waning, creating a vacuum that these Slavic tribes filled. Our focus narrows to a particular group of Western Slavs known as the Wends. They settled in regions like Mecklenburg, Brandenburg, Saxony, and parts of today's Poland. The Wends were not a unified nation, but a collection of tribes, each with unique customs, languages, and social structures. They were predominantly agrarian, revered nature, and had a pantheon of gods that governed their spiritual life. Wendish society was vibrant, with a rich oral tradition, colourful clothing, and distinctive art and architecture. The tranquility of Wendish life began to change with the onset of the Saxon Wars in the late 8th century. Initiated by Charlemagne, the king of the Franks, these wars were not just territorial conquest but also religious crusades. The Christianization of the Wends was a violent and tumultuous process. Charlemagne's forces, followed by subsequent German rulers, systematically subdued the Wendish territories. This period marked the beginning of a prolonged struggle between the pagan Wends and the Christianized Western world. As centuries rolled by, the process of Germanization intensified. The Wends faced increasing pressure to assimilate culturally and linguistically. German settlers flowed into Wendish territories, gradually diluting the Slavic presence. This assimilation was not just natural, but often enforced by policies that sought to suppress Slavic languages, customs, and identities. By the High Middle Ages, the Wends, as a distinct group, were rapidly disappearing. Their languages began to vanish and their customs were absorbed into the broader German culture. The rise of the Hanseatic League, a powerful confederation of merchant guilds and market towns in northwestern and central Europe, accelerated the decline of the Wends. The League's economic dominance marginalized the remaining Wendish communities, further integrating them into the German economic sphere. The League's influence, combined with ongoing political pressures, hastened the erosion of Wendish culture and identity. By the end of the Middle Ages, the Wends, once a distinct and vibrant ethnic group, had largely faded from historical recognition. This transformation serves as a stark testament to the all-consuming nature of conquest and cultural assimilation. The Wends, who had once flourished in Eastern Germany, were systematically engulfed by the expanding influence of their conquerors. Their unique identity, language, and cultural practices were not just overshadowed, but virtually erased in the face of overwhelming Germanic dominance. This episode in history underscores the harsh reality of how entire civilizations can be subsumed and obliterated, leaving scarcely a trace behind in the grand narrative of human history. Their journey from a thriving community to a mere footnote in history is a poignant reminder of the transient nature of human civilizations.